Hi, dear cricket fans, subscribers, and friends of Cricket Happenings. Sorry, I'm not in very best of spirits today, unfortunately, but still, I would like to bring my favorite cricket show, Cricket Happenings. Probably that is something which can give me a sort of a boost here. Well, dear cricket fans, there are two matches that I need to cover. One is the Ashes Test, which has really brought Australia alive because Australia have really fought back in this match through Mitchell Johnson's effort of 6 for 38, where at one stage he had a spell of 4 for 7, looking absolutely deadly with his induckers, and that's what really has put Australia in a sound position here. In fact, they first, in a reply to Australia's 268 all out at the WACA in Perth in the third Ashes Test, which is definitely going to have a result with 3 days to go. Well, England faltered actually. They were 78 for no loss at one stage with the openers Alistair Cook and Andrew Strauss going on strongly, but Mitchell Johnson came in and actually, gave Australia one of the, one of the wonderful beginnings as far as this third Ashes Test match is concerned by actually scalping 6 wickets for 38 runs. Well, and so basically they had only 87 runs were added for the 10 wickets after 78 for no loss. They collapsed to I'll tell you what exactly was the score. It was they were collapsed to 187 all out, and Australia are 200 runs in the lead now, 119 for 3 at close of play on the second day of the third Ashes Test match between England and Australia. Well, the other match that I would be covering is still underway there right now in South Africa, in the Centurion ground in Super Sport Park in South Africa, where South Africa have taken a big lead here over India. India were all out on their overnight score of 136, with Mahendra Singh Dhoni being dismissed and Morkel getting his 5 wicket haul. And right now, South Africa are leading by 186 runs in this match. They are 322 for 2 currently. Hashim Amla is playing a wonderful hand there, not out on 85. Jack Kallis is not out on 90. In fact, he has overtaken Amla. And well, 322 for 2, and they are right ahead there. And India are absolutely under the pump here. Well, as far as let's talk about the match, the Ashes Test match, third Ashes Test match, where the England openers resumed on their overnight score of 28 for no loss, and Strauss and Cook were steady and playing some strokes, and well, they took on the score to 78 when all the things started happening here at the WACA ground in Perth, with Mitchell Johnson with the cherry really posing a lot of problems. It all started with the first wicket to go. Alistair Cook, who drove at a ball from Johnson, which was swinging. It's a swinging delivery. Hussey took it in the slips. Alistair Cook was gone. Caught Hussey, bowled Johnson 32 with 3 fours and 1 6. And after that, like it was a procession. Jonathan Trott came in, and Jonathan Trott got a beautiful delivery from Johnson. It's a swinging delivery, and Jonathan Trott was wrapped on the pads. LBW bowled Johnson for 4. Kevin Peterson was out for a blob as Johnson had him LBW too, but again they had to go for a preview, and Ricky Ponting, the Australian captain, was quite confident. The umpire couldn't give a decision. It was referred to the third umpire under the UDRS, and Peterson was ruled out. LBW ball Johnson for a duck, and Paul Collingwood was out to a ball which straightened a bit, and Collingwood was trapped. LBW ball Johnson for 5, and suddenly England found themselves in all sorts of trouble there. And Strauss also was dismissed as Harris came in and had Strauss caught behind by Haddin for 52 with 8 boundaries, and England were 98 for 5 at that stage. Well, Ian Bell was the only one who gave some resistance there, playing some strokes. Matt Pryor was clean bowled by Peter Siddle, got his first wicket after a long time, after his 6 wicket haul there in the first test. And Matt Pryor was bowled by Siddle for 12 or 42 balls with 1 4. Graham Swan gave some resistance, I would say. I mean, gave some good support to Bell. But Graham Swan was also dismissed when Harris actually had him caught behind for 2. Tremlett was clean bowled by Johnson for 2, and James Anderson was Scott Watson bowled Johnson for a duck. Steve Finn was not out on one, and Ian Bell was the only one who could actually cope with the in-swinging deliveries of Johnson and the Australian bowling, and he made 53 of 90 balls with 6 fours before becoming the third victim of Ryan Harris for 53, and he was the highest scorer. And England were all out for 187, just conceding a lead, thus conceding a lead of 81 runs to Australia for the first time. And the first time Australia looked like really the team. After being through a lot of troughs, finally that was one day that Australia could savor today. Well, Hilfenhaus 71 overs, 6 maidens, none for 53. Ryan Harris 15 overs, 4 maidens, 3 for 59. Peter Siddle 9 overs, 2 maidens, 1 for 25. Mitchell Johnson 17.3 overs, 5 maidens, 38 runs and 6 wickets on his bag. And what a comeback for him. What an all-round performance. He made 60 in the first innings with the bat and now 6 wickets for 38 runs. Well, as far as Australia's innings were concerned, Shane Watson and Phil Hughes disappointed once again, and this time he was dismissed for 12 of 31 balls with 1-4, as Finn had him edging to Collingwood in the slips, and he was gone for 12. Ricky Ponting continued his very dismal run in this series, as Ricky Ponting gloved a ball down the leg side to prior to the bowling of Finn for 1, and that was 34 for 2. And Australia had more trouble as Michael Clarke also departed, clean bowled by Tim Tremlett for 20 of 18 balls with 4 fours. I played confidently, but Tremlett went through his defences and Clarke was gone. 119 for 3 was the end score. Shane Watson and Michael Hussey, the informed batsman, was not out on 24 of 28 balls with 2 fours. Shane Watson was actually steadying the ship for Australia. He's still there, not out on 61 of 113 balls with 8 fours, and he was actually only scoring at the any loose balls were there, he was actually dispatching it. Other than that, he was really playing a bit sedately, and rightly so. So 119 for 3 Australia finished with at close on the second day of the third Ashes Test match here in Wacker in Perth. Now, so basically 81 runs lead, so they are 200 on with 7 wickets in hand. James Anderson 11 overs, 5 maidens, none for 25. Tim Tremlett 9 overs, 2 maidens, 1 for 20. Stephen Finn 9 overs, 1 maiden, 2 for 48. In fact, there was some good bowling from Tim Tremlett and Chris Tremlett and Stephen Finn, and Graham Swan 4 overs, no maiden, none for 26. Well, as far as this match is concerned, dear fans, it looks like it's almost going Australia's way, but 200 runs in the lead for sure. But England, as you know, probably have more determination, and they might be becoming more determined. It all depends on how much what is the lead that Australia is going to take, and what is the target that they're going to set England. And we might have probably a twist in this match, because England, let's not discount England, because England has a strong batting lineup, and it's very unlikely that they would go the same way as they did in the first innings, or probably the Australian bowlers have to really recreate the performance that they did in the first innings to again get England bowled out cheaply. But well, we have to wait and watch. The third day's play is going to be interesting, but a definite result in this match for sure. And the third day is also going to be a very, very interesting phase of play, how Watson and Hussey go on in the morning session and get a huge lead. They put Australia onto a good total. Well, that's it, dear cricket fans, as far as this match is concerned. Now, the other match that I would like to talk about is the current match which is going on. India, as you know, yesterday were 136 for 9, but today there was not much at all. Dhoni was dismissed by Markle for 33 on his overnight score, so he didn't add to that score. And Markle got a 5-wicket haul. He had 5 for 20 in his bag there, and 136 all out. And as far as South Africa were concerned, well, South Africa started off in very good fashion. They got a very good opening partnership, a century partnership, 111 runs added between the captain Graham Smith and Alvaro Peterson. Graham Smith also stroked a few boundaries. In fact, he hit Unadkat for a lot of boundaries. Sreesanth and Ishan Sharma were swinging the ball initially, but it was negotiated very well by Graham Smith and Peterson. The pitch is playing very easy and true. There's not much in the pitch at all which could actually help the bowlers. It's all depending on the batsman. The pitch is playing beautifully. It's like looking like a good batting pitch, and that's what South Africa have really taken advantage of. And Alvaro Peterson took his time to settle, but once he settled, oh, he unveiled some tremendous strokes. And he has always been good against India too. And the cover drive was absolutely superb, absolutely copybook strokes from Peterson. The cover drive, driving on the up, pulling, cutting, and Graham Smith was also cutting very well. But Harbhajan Singh had the last laugh as Graham Smith once again tried to cut, and this time Harbhajan Singh had him caught by Dhoni for 62 of 87 balls with 11 fours, and that was a century partnership. 111 runs added for the first wicket when Graham Smith left, and after that, well, the agony was just piled on as Hashim Amla joined Peterson. Hashim Amla, as you know, is one of the men in some tremendous form, and he also started stroking the ball very well. Alvaro Peterson was gaining in confidence, and he was also doing very well. But well, Alvaro Peterson was the man to be dismissed when Harbhajan Singh had his second wicket there, as Alvaro Peterson tried to play a ball and forward shot like Gambhir took the catch very easily. He was out for 77 of 114 balls with 9 fours and 1 6, and Alvaro Peterson even didn't wait for the umpire's decision as he walked back to the pavilion. And right now, Hashim Amla and Kallis are really turning it on. 166 for the second wicket which went, and now the South African score reads 336 for 2. Dear cricket fans, as I know I won't be able to go the whole hog because there are a lot of overs to be bowled here. I don't know exactly now, and right now they are 336 for 2, so I won't be able to give you the close of play score, but I can give you the latest cricket update where Hashim Amla is not out on 91. Both the players are looking good for centuries. Hashim Amla is not out on 91 with 5 fours and 1 6, and Jack Kallis is not out on 97 with 9 fours and 3 sixes. He hit 2 very good sixes of the bowling of Suresh Raina, whose overs went for 20. In fact, Sachin Tendulkar was also pressed into service today, but to no avail. 336 for 2, and the lead is just increasing. In fact, they have got a 200-run lead now, exactly 200 runs lead, and India have to really do something out of the ordinary in the second innings. It all depends at what is the lead that South Africa is going to take. If they're going to take a massive lead, India are definitely going to find it very, very difficult to actually, I would say, wriggle out of this test match, I would say. 336 for 2. Hashim Amla is playing some wonderful stroke but more aggressive has been Jack Kallis. He's been playing some delightful strokes around the wicket, and he's looking very good. Both of them looking good for centuries. 336 for 2, 200 on right now, and this is the today is the second day, and we are in session 3 right now. Jack Kallis has just moved on to 98, so he's too short of his century. The bowling figure: Sreesanth 16 overs, 1 maiden, none for 67, was a bit costly. Easton Sharma 16.4, 2 maidens, 55 runs and no wicket. Unadkat 14 overs, 2 maidens, none for 48. Was hitting the deck hard, but still needs to do a lot more. Probably is the debutant. And Harbhajan Singh was the successful bowler of 25 overs, 2 maidens, 2 for 107. Raina 3 overs, 1 for 27, and Tendulkar 6 overs, 1 maiden, none for 20. So that is the latest cricket update as far as South Africa is concerned. Let me see what I can give you. Well, dear cricket fans, there are more 18 overs more remaining. Hashim Amla is not out on, as I said, 91. Jack Kallis is not out 98, and South Africa have a 200-run lead going into the third day. But still, as I said, the play is still not over. But as I have to leave for my office, dear cricket fans, I will have to end up this cricket report. But India have to do something out of the ordinary second. It all depends on whether India can restrict them. But looking at things and how the pitch is being playing, I think South Africa are marching towards an imposing total here. That's it, dear cricket fans, subscribers and friends for Cricket Happenings. This is Ram signing off. Thank you.